Hello everyone, it's me, Dragon Valimar, with Dragon Cyborg for another world. In today's video, I wanted you to present my new project, which would be a series that I would do on my YouTube channel. As I said in another video, I will reduce my highlight, I will do less highlight, and focus more on that series in my game talk video, which I would call, instead of game talk, Speak with a Dragon. And so yeah, this is now the time to present to you my new series called Chronicles of Zemuria, which would be a series of lore video about the story of the Trail universe. So if you intend to play the game from the start, the Trail series, it's better that you don't watch this video because it will be spoiler. Though, if you don't want to play the game, you just interested about the universe, know the story of it, and or if you already played the series, but you didn't play for a while, for example, you're going back to play Firewall of Zemuria next year, but it's been a while since you played the game, so you don't remember everything, that could be good for you too. But if you don't want to be spoiled, it's not a good idea to watch it. At least wait until you play the Cold Seal, the other series. So today it will cover the start of Zemuria, or Zemuria got created, and about the Dark Age, what happened during the Dark Age. So that would be the first episode. So that's it for me, and enjoy the video. A long time ago, a great world was created and was called Zemuria. At that time, mankind was gifted with the ability to freely cast magic, known as art. Over time, however, humanity began to lose that ability. Fortunately, they discovered that art could still be cast with the aid of technological device called Ornament. They called the usage of this ability to cast art Orbal Art. Only one clan retained the ability to cast magic without ornament, and they were called Witch. With time, several civilizations of Zemuria developed into animist tribe. They gathered around place where Septon Rain gathered most efficient, such as the Stone Circle in Lebel, and the North Island or off the coast, or like Ebel in Erebos. At one point in history, a celestial being called Adios had stored 7 treasures upon mankind, known as the Septarian. Each of them were guarded by holy beasts, created by the goddess herself. Humanity also split into 7 factions, each gathering around one of these treasures. Each Septarian provided their group total governance over one of the 7 elements. Each faction were the Oriole, central faction of space, led by Celis the Aslis of the Liberal Arc. The Emurgos, central faction led by the Qua family. Arc Rouge, central faction now known as the Exant clan. Blood-Zem, centered faction now known as the Gnome in the land of Erebos, now called Erebonia. And then we have, thanks to those newfound treasure, the civilization of Zemuria flourished Unfortunately, their golden age was about to be over. All began when Lost Zem and Arc Rouge came into conflict. This caused a great battle between the two factions, the Gnome, King of Art, and the Witch, King of Fire. They never expected, though, that Lost Zem and Arc Rouge would fuse together during the battle and became the Great One. Realizing the mistake, and that this power was too great for humans to control, the King of Fire and Earth worked together to seal the Great One away. With the Witch, we split his power into 7 fragments, and then the Gnome crafted 7 vessels to put the shard into them, called the Divine Night. During that time, there were also some problems with the civilization of the Liberal Arc. They treasured the Aureole were passively granted wish to the owner of the Gospel, ornament-like device capable of interacting with the Aureole. Over the course of time and for reasons unknown, however, the Aureole gained an autonomy and actively sought to assist humanity. Unfortunately, this autonomy began to deteriorate human life. The device itself mode of operation has also shifted from granted wish to bestowing gift. The Aureole was even capable to take control of the entire arc. To prevent this, Celeste created some device to seal the arc in space forever. As for the other faction, the Qua family began to learn alchemy and tried to create their own Septarian of Mirage. The original one, Demiurgos, guided mankind by understanding them and tried tirelessly to fulfill their desire. With time, she began to understand more humanity and was able to guide all of them. Personality, action, and rationality, the empathy, which will work right, feeling, like humans do. This led to a gradual deterioration of the Demiurgos' heart, and it fell ill. Realizing that at this rate it would go out of control and harm the one it's out to protect, it decided to seize this casualty of its own existence. All these events unfortunately led to a catastrophic event, called the Great Collapse. This destroyed mostly the entire world, leaving the survivor without technology and culture. This started the Dark Age of Runes. To survive these dark times, the survivor of the 7th faction began to rebuild. Celeste is Useless, and her people from the Liberal Arc established a town on the shore of Vallejo Lake, which later will expand and become the Kingdom of Liberal. The Qua family, who had lost their Septarian of Mirage, was still trying to create an artificial one, and to further the experiment, build the Stargazer Tower. As for the Extant clan, King of Fire and the Gnome, King of Art, they decided to reconcile. Also, the Holy Beast Rosaria fused with the Elder of the King of Fire to become only one person. Not long after that, the Holy Beast of these two factions assigned Adjudicator Arnor as an imperial leader, but was affiliated with them. He then found the city of Endar as his base to rebuild the land of Erebos. Then later was crowned as the first emperor of Erebonia. He also activated Azoth, a device to watch over casualty in Zemuria, centered around his empire, and they would be passed now as a black record in the House of Arnor. At the same point of time, the Septian Church, worship of the goddess of the sky, Helios, and the city of Arteria made their first appearance. They began to dispatch missionaries to provide the populace distrust now but at the slots of the Septurion, a new wave with connecting with Adios, called Fate. The church also endorsed Adjudicator Arnor as the first emperor of Erebonia nation and began to build a relation. Some century later, with the help of the local rulers, several cathedrals were built around the continent, each with a paramount ground hidden beneath them for the church's own purpose. Those include the Grenzel Cathedral in Lebel and the Amdard Cathedral in Erebonia. The chivalric order of the church also found the Graal's Rider, a group whose task was to investigate and retrieve ancient Zemurian artifacts. Unfortunately, even with the presence of the church now in the world, the Erebonian faced a new calamity. A dark dragon called Zero Agruda appeared and occupied Amdard. He blackened the capital in Miasma, killing many of its inhabitants and raising them body as zombies. The emperor of that time, Emperor Astorius II, had no choice to evacuate the survivor. With the help of the Gnome and the Exant clan, he was able to move them to the town of Saint Arc. The latter served as the imperial capital and had 7 generations of Arnor Emperor. The people of Erebonia were still living in fear, though, that the curse of the dragon could spread further. To prevent this, the Emperor led an army of brave warriors and recruited his royal vassal, Witch of the Exant clan and only knight of the Graal Rider, into the necropolis in order to free it from the dragon. This attack ended, however, in failure, because the miasma of the dragon was too strong. The chief of the gnome then persuaded the elder of the Exant clan to guide the 7th emperor, Hector I, to become the awakener of the divine knight Testarossa. The elder of the Exant clan reluctantly agreed, and Emperor Hector raised Arnor, gathered its force again, and went to reclaim, finally, Amdar. There he found the Vermilion Knight, Testarossa, and with its power, was able to slay the Dark Dragon for good. Its death caused the end of the miasma, but cost the life of the Emperor, and the Exant Elder, who was also the only beast of fire. It's also cursed Testarossa, and the only beast of earth. With the help of his ally and the church, they sealed the corrupted Divine Knight under Volflame Palace, and the corrupted Holy Beast, now called the Nameless One, was sealed away in the city cathedral paramount ground. Following this, the chief of the gnome approached the new Exant Elder, Wisela Milstein, as well as the new Emperor, Hector's son, and spoke to them about a prophecy to the world ends, and then separated themselves permanently with the witch. Now that the crisis was over, the Empire rebuilt the city over the ruin of the Ancient One, and became known as the Vermilion City. They also began the construction of the Volflame Palace, which was placed over Testarossa sealed prison. They fear that the other conflict could potentially arise again in Erebonia. The Exant clan decided to train and guide Awakener to the respective Divine Knight. And if a conflict were to happen, the memory of these knights would be erased for the public. The reason for the cycle remained unknown. Toward the next century and a half, the Empire of Erebonia regained its stability, This period gave rise to powerful clans, each taking control of the imperial territory in the form of province. The empire recognized them as nobility. These noble families engaged in small-scale conflict to expand their territory and increase their influence. These conflicts escalated into battle, for which Divine Knight Albatessa, Rosa, and Ishmelga were awakened and deployed. The noble family with no knight in their possession saw the infantry crush under the overwhelming strength of a numerous knight. As a countermeasure, they resorted to Erebonian mage. The mage were a group of intellectuals that sought the glory and miracle of the ancient Zemuria civilization in Erebonia during the Dark Age, and were obsessed with its revival. With their investment of the noble family, the mage developed a magic knight to compare against the divine knight. After many defective prototypes that will only move when the spirit brain was stimulated, which worked it out since that was what the divine knight were doing, the mage succeeded creating what is considered a prototype of Magic Knight. Old Gallia, one influential family that didn't exist very long. During the same century, the influence of the Satan Church continued to spread, resulting in it becoming the dominant religion in all Zemuria. Eventually, not even noble and knight could ignore its power anymore. A new order was then established with the church at the center. As a result of this, the Dark Age were now over, with the church being attributed for its end. So guys, that was my first video of the series. I hope you liked it. Next one will be about the Middle Age. Then after that, I don't know yet which lore I will cover, but there is a lot of lore, so there will be a lot of video about it. So, what do you think about this one? Please leave a comment below. And at the same time, what do you think about the Dark Age? And did I forgot something? I think not. Or is there some stuff I forgot I didn't add? Or what do you think about what happened during the Dark Age? Whatever the case, just leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my content, which would be that series, Chronicles of Zemuria, and some Speak of the Talk with the Dragon video, which basically would be talk video about games, review, ranking, character, and all these kind of stuff. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see that. Oh, also, I'm streaming live on YouTube, but also Twitch, whatever platform you prefer. And my other social media will be in the description below. So, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see each other again pretty soon. Found Dragons offline.